Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Jacobs from Ooh La La Spa, Anti-Aging and Wellness. And if you have seen any of my videos in the past, you should know that I am still in the process of writing my book. I am getting there. I actually am. I took a little time off in the summer because my kids, of course, needed my top priority, and I just felt like I needed to take a break. And so I'm back at it. And I decided to ask Miss Cathi to come in, who is one of our book models. So
Thank you.
Oh, well, my gosh, thank you. So my first question to her, though, was, because it's been, that was January, February, March, and I think our final photos were around April.
Was it April? Okay,
I think so.
It was before the school year was out for the kids.
So, my first question to her was, are you still on all of your products? And
yes, I am. And still in love with them.
Good.
Definitely.
And that's so exciting. So let's talk about how you ended up coming in here.
So I would see ads online, Facebook things pop up, and I was curious about it, but I always thought, oh, it's going to be too expensive, or oh, that's not for me, I don't have time for that. And I live nearby, so I would drive by and I'd have the urge to just stop in and check it out, but I was intimidated. You don't know exactly what you're getting into. And so then whenever I finally saw that you were reaching out to people on Facebook, I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And when I came in, you girls, your whole team, just so welcoming and taught me so much. So it was one of the things that I wish I would have done sooner, but the timing was great because I learned so much along with the other ladies that were involved. So yeah, it's wonderful.
Thank you. We, of course, were glad to have you. I instantly fell in love with you, as with all of my ladies. I was just blown away by the whole experience. And I just remember that first day that you were here and you said all of those things. And part of me, my heart hurt because a lot of people feel that way.
Oh, definitely. Feel
like you can't afford it. And when you came back for one of your follow-ups, what did you say to me?
About coming back for
about being able to afford it.
Yes. It surprised me because I didn't think it was something I could ever have in my budget. Like, that's something that I didn't allow myself to. I thought it was a treat for myself. And so I felt guilty spending that money on myself. Once I realized that I was taking care of myself, it wasn't really a treat, but it was more of a well-being type of thing. And that I was getting good products and also teaching my daughter, which was a huge part of it. For me, it's an investment in probably my health and in hers as well, because she learned so much over the summer, especially with skincare and sunscreen and everything. So she's getting to an age where I want her to see those things through me of how to take care of it. Because when I was that age, we played out in the sun without sunscreen, and we laid in tanning beds in high school and college. So to teach her the right way to take care of herself now was an added bonus.
Good. And she's how old?
She's 11.
She's 11. So
she's
she
just
is.
learning, yes.
She is right at that age. And obviously, things are so different now. And we've always put sunscreen on our kids.
Right.
I mean, but like you said, and well, for me, I always had it because I'm so pale, and my parents always knew. I mean, I had to have it.
Right.
But for most people, did not. Correct.
I really didn't too much. And for her as well, she's kind of like I am. She doesn't burn easily. So it's easy to go out and play without it, or it's easy to swim for the day without it.
Right.
And so she came in with me a few times, and she even got to see the light photos that were taken.
Yes.
And to see the difference that the Lightera made for me, and she was shocked by that. She was absolutely shocked. I think it scared her a little bit, actually, which was probably good.
I was just going to say that. That in itself is worth every single thing that I did, for all of these ladies. Even though your daughter wasn't involved, we taught her a valuable lesson.
Yes.
And I know my kids tease me all the time because I'm always on their high knees about getting their sunscreen on, and did you put your sunscreen on?
Yes.
And yes, Mom, we know we have to, but really that's what we need to do, is teach the youth. I mean, we have to take care of ourselves as well, but we really have to teach the next generation that they have to take care of themselves. And I love how you said that it's, number one, it's an investment in yourself.
It is.
And number two, you said it's really taking care of you.
It is. And I am a product junkie probably when it comes to trying things and buying things. So to actually have products that I may have one product that costs X amount of dollars, where before I was buying 4 or 5 things, trying them, and not getting as long of use out of them. and just the quality of the actual products themselves, I absolutely love. So it's definitely worth it.
Good. And I think one of the comments is that you're actually saving money.
I am, because I'm not wasting it and throwing away half full bottles of products. So,
right.
Yeah. I went through a few months ago and just purged completely, and it felt wonderful.
Yay.
I have so much more space in my bathroom now.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. And like you said, you're actually seeing results with it, and that's tremendous. And I believe, and I can't speak for everybody, but the majority of the models are still on their products, even the basic ones. And so again, it's not, the whole thing was not about me really making money on any of this. It's not what my plan was, but my plan was to educate, which is what we do every single day. My plan is to educate and put you on the things that you are going to have healthy skin.
Yes.
It's just like exercise. It's just like, taking care of yourself by drinking water and doing the things that we're supposed to do, watching our diet. I feel that strongly about the skincare and some of the treatments that we did, which let's talk about those.
Yeah, definitely. I would like that.
Okay, so what did you do? I know I had one plan for you, but I think in the end we looked at what your main goal was.
That's one thing I absolutely am so thankful about with this whole process is I really didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I needed. I didn't know what was available to me. And so after you taught me what was available and I knew what concerns I had, I was like, oh, so I could do this, or this is available to me and I'll fix this. So one of my concerns was this lovely under chin, double chin skin thing I had going on here. And I think there's always going to be some of that probably to an extent as we get older. But I was so self-conscious of it in photos, and I was coming up on a milestone birthday, so I think you start thinking about those things, like how am I going to take care of myself, and what do I want to do to keep my skin looking as young as possible. And so we talked about some options with this, and ended up with cold sculpting, and I was excited for it, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Good.
It was great.
Tell me about the process.
The process was easy and actually kind of oddly relaxing.
It is oddly relaxing.
Oddly relaxing. I was kind of scared at first. Your team in here is always great about explaining everything and making you feel so comfortable. And so I don't remember how long it was. Was it 45 minutes or an hour and a half? I forget. It was quite a long process when I come in for the treatment.
Did you have it one or did you have side by side?
I did both. So the first time I came in, I had side by side.
Okay.
So it took longer. And then I think the second time I came in, maybe I just had the one. And so they put you in this lovely little room. Actually, it's a big room, and it's kind of dark, and this machine's running, and they attach the cool sculpting device to my chin, and they just let you kind of relax on a table. And I had my phone, and it was kind of dark in there, and I thought, at first I was nervous, and the girls in here gave me a button to push just in case I needed anything, and checked on me numerous times. And I know the first time I was checked on at least twice where I had to wake up. Whenever she came into the room, I was like,
that's good.
It was wonderful because at first when the suction started, I was like, oh, this is going to be so uncomfortable, and the noise and everything. And about 5 minutes into it, I was like, I could totally take a nap. I haven't had that amount of quiet time to myself, and I don't know when. So it was fabulous. So it was relaxing to me. It was pampering myself just to come in and even have the treatment done.
Good.
Which was great, yeah. And so it felt kind of numb afterwards. And I had a little bit of swelling maybe for a day or two, but not even anything anyone noticed. I noticed it, but no one else noticed at all. And it was super easy. Yeah,
good.
I loved it.
And your treatments were 30 days apart?
They were.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you start seeing results?
So I took some selfies at home trying to see if I could tell because I was excited. And at first, I can't say that I really could tell a ton. Probably after the first month or so, 3 or 4 weeks in, I could really start telling. And it was more so when I was doing my makeup. I could tell it whenever I had, whenever you're smoothing in right in here, I could just feel the difference, especially on both sides right here. And then I had gone on a trip and I looked back at some pictures and I could tell there. And it just made me feel so good. Yeah,
good.
Much more self-confident.
I hate to say I really haven't seen you since then, and I can tell a huge difference. And if it makes you feel better, then it was well worth it.
Definitely.
And I find it so hilarious that you felt like it was relaxing.
It was.
But in the end, we don't get time to ourselves. And I have to say, anybody that has been in my clinic to see me, sometimes I run a little bit behind. And 99.9% of the patients say, hey, it's all right. I'm just hanging out. I'm relaxing, which of course makes me feel better. But what they know is that I'm in the room with somebody else who needs me a little bit longer. Not necessarily doing treatments, but maybe talking, maybe just lending an ear. And so I like to talk. So it puts me a little bit behind. But I hear this so much that people just come in and they relax. I need to have just a room set up so you can take naps. And then I'll just wake you up when I'm really ready for it.
Right. I can make myself comfortable anywhere here. It's been amazing. I did have a facial, or what did I do? A chemical peel, I think, one time too. I tried that one day. And actually, I'd like to do that probably again sometime. And that was it was quick. And I was like, oh, it's over. Because I kind of wanted to lay there longer. It was nice and just to treat myself. Yeah.
Well, good. So did you, I can't remember, and I'm relying completely on you, but did you do hydrofacial or anything like that? It was just the chemical peel?
Just the chemical peel, yes. And I was not sure what I was really getting into there. Okay. So I was curious, and I think it's something I'd like to do more of in the future.
Good. Hey, Steph, do you remember, and I have all your information sitting downstairs, so it does me a lot of good down there, but do you remember if it was a vitalized peel? Okay, and that's okay. When you had the peel, did you have some peeling?
I did.
Okay, it probably was the Vitalize, which is our middle of the road peel. And tell me,
yes, it was.
Okay, so that was the Vitalize.
It was kind of the middle one that you had.
Tell me if you saw some results after that, and what kind of results you saw.
Do you know what was so funny is I work in a basement in an IT department full of men. Not that they shouldn't notice things or say things. Sometimes they say probably not the right things, like, oh, you look tired today, or oh, you must not feel good. I had so many people come up to me and just out of the blues make comments of, you look really good, or make a comment about, wow, what'd you do different, like, trying to figure out exactly what it was. And they don't have a clue half the time either, but I'd say, oh, I'm I'd make something up, just a little comment, oh, I'm doing great, or oh, it's Friday, or whatever, because I don't want to go into it with them. But it was funny to see the people that I work with every day notice that there was something different, but they weren't quite sure what. And I wasn't wearing makeup at the time. I was still using like moisturizer. So it was soon after the fact. And I think I just had a healthy glow. It absolutely gave me like a refreshed look, and I'm ready after the summer and everything. I feel like I kind of need that again.
Right.
But it was just funny to see people that I'm around daily realize something was different, but couldn't quite put their finger on it. So.
I think that is the number one thing. Okay, besides all the other things that you said that you didn't think you could afford it and all this kind of stuff, but the number one thing is to point out that if things are done correctly in the aesthetic world, nobody should know what's happening. Nobody should know that you had anything done. Even Botox, even filler.
Right.
They should just look at you and kind of go, what is going on here? Yes. And I hear this all the time, that a lot of people will say, oh, did you lose weight? Did you change your hairstyle? Or you just look refreshed?
Yes.
And that's what we want. So I'm glad you brought that up, because we really absolutely positively want you to just look like the best version of you and refresh. It does. Yes. It does. So let's talk about that. You said it makes you feel good.
Yes.
So just tell me, like, what difference did you have? A little extra kick in your step, or?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know that I do much for myself except see my hairstylist, every month or so. That might be the only thing I really go out of the way to do. And so this for me was something that I felt like I was pampering myself, at first, and just taking the time out to learn something new about myself. And that to me, along with seeing results, like, it's great to put on a product or use something or have a treatment, I think, but to see a little bit of the results, it just makes you feel like you put on a new pair of shoes, or you have a new bag to carry, or you have something that just kind of brightens your day. No one else in the world may know, but it just makes you feel good.
Right.
Yeah.
And instead of buying that new pair of shoes or that new bag, may as well invest in this thing called your face.
This is with me every day. The rest of it changes out constantly.
Right.
So yes, it's that feeling of you have a new outfit outfit or you have a new something, you know, it just makes you feel wonderful. So I definitely think it's important to take care of yourself, and that just, I say that to other people, but to do it for myself, it was very nice.
I think we forget about ourselves all the time.
Yes.
And I think we focus on our children. And I know that was one of the things that you said when you came in here, is that, listen, I have a daughter and I don't have a lot of extra time. I don't have a lot of extra money. And, you know, like I said, clear as day, I remember you just saying, wow, I can do this. And that was so exciting to me.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So
it is.
good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about products. And Steph was so kind to set it all up right here. This is what you're using.
It is.
So truly, you're not using that much.
No.
So I'm just gonna, so that we're not turned around, let me just pull, okay, I always knock things over, but I'm gonna just pull this forward. And we're gonna talk about these. Now, before I say anything, can you pick a favorite?
Oh.
I like that response.
No, I cannot. Probably no. Can I pick two?
You can pick two, maybe three,
Okay,
maybe even four.
So it depends on the day.
Okay.
I'd say if I had to take one of these with me, it would be the one I have in my hands.
Okay.
Only because it is kind of a little miracle worker for me. It's easy, it's fast, it feels good, and it makes me look awake even when I'm not most of the time.
Okay.
So the Even Up is definitely probably my best friend, followed closely by this little wonderful under eye treatment.
So let's pump this out on the back of your hand, please, so you can show, I think, and then I want you to actually pump it on mine too.
Yeah.
And that's all right. Good job. Yep.
Yeah,
you can work here. You got it. You can pump it out. So what I want to show is the difference in our skin tones and color. And it looks like, oh my gosh, there's no way you could possibly, all of us could possibly wear this color. But in the end, it's exactly what I have on, and it's exactly what you have on. So let's rub it in.
So the fun part, whenever
because look at it, looks so thick. Yeah.
The first time I used this, we were in here and there was a table full of ladies, of book models. And gosh, there was at least 10 of us, if not more. And we all had different age groups, different skin types. And I thought, there's no way this is going to look okay on us. We came in with clean faces, and we all put this on, and we all fell in love. It is one of those things, I think once you try it, you're not going to quit using it.
Isn't it amazing how it will just mold right into the color of the skin? So we both put the same product on just now, and it's so silky, and it does. It feels amazing. And I agree with you. If I had to pick one, now that's really hard to do, but I was just saying this the other day, that Even Up is definitely 100% what I would pick, because it's the 3-in-1. So not only does it feel good and it makes you look good, but it's treating brown spots, and most importantly, what's it have in it?
It's the SPF.
There you go.
50, I believe?
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. And it's a physical block. So I feel like you learned the most important thing is wearing sunscreen every single day.
Right.
Every single day, no matter if it's winter or if it's the middle of summer. I do not leave home without this.
I don't either.
I wear it to work out. Sometimes I even think, oh my gosh, I should put it all over my body, which I do not, but I should.
Right.
And I just feel like if I had to pick, it would be that one. But please don't ever make me pick just one product.
I would be sad with that.
I know. So let's go to the second favorite.
Sure. Second favorite.
Okay.
Definitely Total Eye. It's amazing. And I fell in love as much with the applicator as I did with the product.
Yep. So let's switch.
So yes, this is. So my under eyes always feel tired and just kind of dark. I don't know if it's skin tone or I'm just a tired mom. So this thing looks a little intimidating maybe until your ladies showed me how to use it. I don't even use a full pump usually. There's a little bit out on this one now.
Yeah, here, I'll take that off and we'll just do a little half pump.
What a little half pump looks like. What I use on a daily basis is about that much. So it lasts quite a while.
And if you want, I know we can't necessarily use that one, but if you want to just take it with your pinky and show, because what I love about Total Eye is that you can put it on before your makeup, you can put it on after your makeup.
Some days I do both actually because I need it,
and then
I can, and I just dot it usually with the applicator that's on the bottle on my under eye, and then just rub it in. Actually, I rub it in with this most of the time. And so it blends in so well under my eyes, and sometimes even when I get home after work, if we're running around in the evening, I go for this just to kind of brighten my eyes up because I'm tired and I don't want to look tired.
Right. I don't think you look tired. I think you look freaking amazing, girl.
I have on all my lovely products right now. But yes, so it blends in just as easy as can be. And there's days that, I don't know how well I did there, but it blends in so easily. And then sometimes I'll even take it and go up on the upper part of my eye and use it like a primer. So if I'm getting ready to go out or something, I use it there too, and it feels so good. But this lovely little applicator is cold. And so whenever you touch your under eye with that cold applicator, it feels wonderful and it looks great. And a lot of times I'll blend it in even further down my cheek, and it just kind of blends the whole look in. So I did learn that from the ladies in here, that if you take it and blend it further down towards kind of even with the tip of my nose, a lot of times it blends it seamlessly if I don't have a lot of makeup on. You
absolutely can do that. And you said sometimes you use it on your upper eye. Use it every time.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. It has a SPF 35 in it. So there aren't very many products out there that have an SPF at all. So yes, use it every single day, because not only will it protect you with the SPF, but it will tighten up the skin up here. Yes.
I'll start doing that.
Yes. And so you also have this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I use that daily.
Okay.
Sometimes twice a day. If I remember in the morning, I use it. If not, I do for sure before I go to bed.
Okay.
At night.
Awesome. So the difference with this one is that it has a roller ball and it is clear.
Yes.
So the same thing with this one is do it under and go over. So you go all the way around. Absolutely. So it's a roller ball and it is clear. And this one feels just as amazing as the other. And you, like you said, you can use it day and night. This is really made for your morning and this is made for your evening. But those of us who maybe don't wear any makeup, or men, they can use the roller ball in morning and the evening. And again, you can just do it right underneath and right over. So they're both 3-in-1s. The only difference, it's the same ingredients. The only difference is one is color and one does not. And the 3-in-1 means that it has your SPF 35. Therefore, that's why you want to use it up above. It has treatment ingredients that helps with fine lines and wrinkles, helps with your brown spots under your eyes, your dark circles, the puffiness that can happen under the eyes. And then, you know what's interesting? Maybe this one's a 2-in-1 because this one doesn't have the color. The third thing is the color. It acts as your concealer. So maybe this is just a 2-in-1. I don't know. This says 3-in-1. This just says concentrate total eye. Oh, it does. Oh, I am totally lying here. So does not have SPF, so you do have to use this one in the morning. Thank you, Steph. See, I am learning things just as well as what I'm trying to teach all of you. Check your stuff when you come in here. Okay, now what is this?
So I really wasn't sure about those at first, because I thought, I have this other. I didn't want to buy the whole set, because I think, can you buy just this separate?
You can buy just this, right? And I think that in either this quarter or next quarter, we're going to be able to buy this one separately too. Okay. Yes, but for now, you have to buy all three of them.
Initially, I had just the total eye, just this one, the 3-in-1, and I loved it. And then you had a special going on or something, and some of the ladies in our Facebook group that we had were chatting about how much they love the patches, the under eye patches. And I thought, well, that would be nice. It would feel good, I'm sure, because all of this feels so great. And so then I started using these, and I love them. But it's kind of one of those things, I don't always remember to use it. And then when I do remember, or I have a day where I'm just super puffy and my face just feels like it needs a little extra something, I'll use those, and then I'm like, why don't I do this more often? Because it is fabulous. And I've used some other under eye patches just because I'm a product junkie when it comes to trying things. Put them on, they feel good, you take them off, and it's like, well, it felt good, but you don't really, maybe besides moisture at the time, see a whole lot of any change that comes with it. With these, it firms. I think I can feel it when they're on, but even when I take them off, and if I put on makeup afterwards or something, it's amazing the difference that it'll make.
So you're convincing me, because I think for me it comes down to I'm lazy and I just don't take the time to do it. So for this one, I actually put it at my bedside. I have patients who put it in the fridge, but I would never use it if it was in the fridge. But it feels really good if it's even cooler. But I put it by my bedside. So maybe that's what I need to do with these and put them by my bedside too, because really just putting them on, I could totally tell a difference when I use them. And I think that's it's hard for everybody who's just starting out to get into a routine. Yes. And I have so many patients who say, well, I'm a one time a day, or, it's really hard for me to use product at all. And I said, well, here's the difference. Once you start it and get into a routine, number one, then you start to see results. You never want to stop, because what's going to happen if you stop? Nobody wants to know that.
No, I don't.
So no, I don't either. Like, no way. So I feel like once you're in that routine, but you have to take that step and get started one way or another.
It's so easy to let it go, and I don't know if it's laziness or it's just being busy. Well, I know you're busy, and it's like you just you take care of everything else.
Yeah.
And so
we'll go with busy.
Let's say busy. I like that a little bit.
We'll go with busy.
Because you're not lazy. I know
but
yes, it's being busy and you don't think about it. But I love walking around the house. My daughter will see me with white strips in my mouth and under eye patches on, and she'll see what I'm doing, and she wants to try things too now.
Right.
So it's fun just to be able to show her the different products that are out there, and she gets excited about taking care of herself now.
Good.
So I love that she's all about being healthy and learning from me, even if I walk around the house with things all over.
That's a good thing.
It
and
is.
that's you're teaching her from the beginning. So so our last product is our Lightera 2.0. So I'll just pump a little out on there. I mean, it just feels amazing. And it is it's a serum. So you tell me your take on it, because I really like hearing it from you instead of me doing all the talking.
So for me, this was one of those products that Dr. Jacobs had recommended for helping me even out dark areas on my face and some uneven areas. It's super silky. It feels wonderful to put on. I put it on at night, usually before bed, and then some in the morning as well. But it's fabulous, isn't it? I know. That's like the other one. I'm just putting everywhere. But so it is wonderful. And I had dark spots from sun exposure and everything else, probably sitting in front of screens and everything throughout the day. But I didn't realize how much through here on the edges of my face that I actually had discoloration. And so you did the before and after photos, and I really got to see the difference there. But I could tell as well when I was doing my makeup or just putting on, moisturizer, that I didn't have as much, it almost looked like shading or shadows on my face where the dark spots were. I started using this daily, and I was very, very good about using it. I wanted to see results, and I wanted to test it out to see if it worked. And it was wonderful. It felt like a treat to put it on because it's so silky smooth. It's just lovely. But to see it lighten those areas, it was fabulous. And it was such a small amount that it lasts me forever.
It does.
So when I thought about the price of things and taking care of myself, and if I really want to invest that kind of money, a bottle like that lasts months. And it just makes such a big difference. So when I came in, especially then for my after photos, I knew that I could see the difference daily whenever I just look at my face and wash it or put my makeup on. But to actually see the difference in the photos that you took, it was just amazing.
Good.
Yeah, it was great.
And that's key, because a lot of patients will say, oh, I've tried everything, it doesn't work.
Yes.
I had this conversation with a gal yesterday. I can't remember what treatment we did, but she said, oh, I don't know if I saw anything. And I said, well, girl, you didn't come back in for your follow-up photos. So we forget what we look like.
Right.
So luckily you saw the change with the naked eye, but sometimes we don't see that, and you have to see photos. So when patients come in, the first thing we do, we wash the face, we take photos, and then every follow-up visit, we're going to take photos again so that you can compare them, and you know that you're spending the right amount of money. And I shouldn't say the right amount, you can spend more if you want, but the money that's making a change is what I'm saying, is in that you're not spending money and it's just being wasted. Yes. I think that is so key. But you have to use the product, and you have to make sure that you are following up and seeing those results, because that's going to motivate you.
Yes, definitely. And I do not hesitate to recommend coming in here or checking out your website or to friends, because I've seen the difference. Yes,
well, we appreciate that.
I cannot sell a 50-50 chance to a friend. I cannot ask anyone for money. I don't like to push anything. It's just not my personality. And I've had so many people ask me, I'm like, just go in and talk to them. Just stop in. They're so friendly. They'll let you know, and they're not going to sell you something that's not going to work, because I've seen it work, not just on myself, but on all the other ladies too, and how we rave about it.
Well, we appreciate that. And word of mouth is obviously the best thing. But just hearing it from you, and I mean, this video for me is just priceless because it's out of the words. I mean, they're your words. I'm not telling you what to say. No. I took a gamble. I took a chance on putting all of you guys on stuff and saying, okay, let's see what happens. I know it works, but I'm like, okay, we have 3 months to make sure that this really does work and that it's worth it to you. So what we will do, because we don't have our before and afters now, because like I always say, it's too hard on the computer. But what we will do is we will post her photos because they are outstanding, and we'll point out the different, I mean, I think you're going to be able to see it without even us pointing it out. But we will, I think, Steph, you put the before and afters on, but then put a link to the video and then kind of the same thing so that people can watch both things and see both things.
I would love that. And the photos, I know, just to see the spots, I don't know, I think you have a new system now.
We do.
Right?
Have you used it yet?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
But yes. So those photos, though, if someone comes in and sees actually the damage they have, or the sun exposure and the light exposure that they have on their face, and how it's, changed their skin, and then you use a product like that and see the difference. I mean, like you said, it's wonderful. The photos definitely sell you on it.
Well, good. You have to do the Vizia, is what it's called. It is horrendous because it tells you your age, and it shows you what you'll look like when you're 80 if you don't do anything. So I refuse. It's awful. No, it was awful. I did it, and we did it live, and I kept thinking, oh my gosh, what is this going to look like? It was like, and I was turn it off. I can't. But we have all these products that are going to keep us looking just like this into our 80s.
Yes,
so we're good.
I will always have brown hair and hopefully smooth skin because of ladies like you and friends.
That's right. So, Cathi, I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you for having me. I was excited to come.
I'm glad. I'm so glad. And obviously, one of these days, this book will be done, and it will be spectacular because the before and afters. I mean, I've gotten tears in my eyes looking at the before and afters. They are incredible. So if you have any questions for Cathi, I'm sure she will be extremely happy to answer them. So put them on our page, or you can certainly send a private message to Steph, and Steph can send them to Cathi. But as you can see, she's very open. She's very honest. She loves the and I call you one of the minimalists because you're really not using that much product, but you've seen amazing results with it.
I don't hesitate to tell people,
well, good.
So they can ask away.
Good. So if you, like I said, have any questions, or if you want to give us a call and come in for a consultation, please do. It's our number 618-288-9117. Thank you so much again for coming in.
It was lovely. Thanks.